The next game that we get the opportunity to talk about is the sequel to Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. It's Middle-earth: Shadow of War that has an officially announced release date. Guys, it's October 10th. Here to talk to me about it is Michael DePlater, the Vice President of Creative at Monolith. What is up, Michael?
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for the chair.
Hell yeah. Well, the chair is a nice break from all that grueling standing.
Yeah.
And it gives us to do one of the most iconic things in PC gaming, this posture.
There.
Thank you. Now, we've heard about the October 10th release date. What are some of the things that have been changing and building upon Shadow of Mordor in terms of Shadow of War?
I think what we've tried really hard to do, although it seems pretty obvious, is take the things that were good, that worked in the first game, so our combat and the Nemesis system and this world that we'd created, and to build on that, but also to take the lessons we learned in the first game and really improve those. So really make this into a truly epic fantasy that's kind of up there with if you go and see Return of the King or Lord of the Rings, and really focusing on the story and the characters as well.
I mean, you've been talking all throughout about how important story is in Shadow of War. What does that mean in terms of the work that you're doing?
It means paying off the epic scale, so having these titanic full-scale battles. It means the stakes of the story, so we're facing the most iconic and powerful villains, you know, Sauron and the Witch King and the Nazgul. And it means having these incredibly memorable and personal characters, so allies and enemies that you're working with.
And in terms of E3, what are the types of things that you're showcasing here that people can see?
Oh, the reason we're really excited for E3 is two things. People being able to get their hands on the game and play it. And also that we're going to be giving demos of the game. But because of the Nemesis system, every single demo we give, we have no idea what's going to happen.
That's awesome.
We don't know which orcs or which characters are going to turn up, which stories are going to happen. So every single time people go and see the demo, they're going to see something new, and so are we. And because of that, we really wanted to share that, not just at E3, but for anyone who wants to tune in and watch those demos as well.
Yeah, and of course you see all the information for how to watch those online throughout the entire duration of E3. I know that in a moment we're going to get a chance to delve a little bit more into those story bits with a unique cinematic based on one of the characters that was in the trailer. Can you introduce her for us, Eltariel?
Yeah, so she's one of the new characters we're introducing into the world and into our story, Eltariel. She's the Blade of Galadriel. So she's essentially an assassin that's been sent to Mordor to hunt down the Nazgul and to hunt down anyone corrupted by a Ring of Power. And you, as Talion, are running around Mordor wielding a Ring of Power. So there's some interesting tension in that relationship with her. But she's this awesome character, and as well as that, she gets her own fully playable campaign in our first major story DLC as well, which is the Blade of Galadriel.
Well, before we hop into that, I just want to say, Michael, thanks so much for coming on to talk about Shadow of War. We talked about how important story is to Shadow of War, so let's take a little bit of a look at 2 minutes of the cinematic, Eltariel meeting Talion.
So it is true.
You killed me.
And yet you live. What is that like? To die and live again? Do you feel pain? Do you suffer?
What of the city? Of the Palantir?
The Nazgul have taken both. They belong to the Dark Lord now.
Then I have failed.
What if you keep fighting?
Wields the light of Galadriel. We can recover the ring.
Your rings are the cause of all this, Elf Lord.
You can see him.
I see him.
Who are you?
I'm the Blade of Galadriel.
Since when does Galadriel work with assassins?
Great threats make for unlikely alliances. You know this better than most. Now tell me more about this ring.
We crafted it to defeat Sauron. But it was lost.
The Nazgul will be drawn to the power of the ring.
We cannot let it fall into Sauron's hands. The light of Galadriel, give it to us!
Stay your hand! My light will protect us, but it will not leave my side.
We must move quickly.
Try to keep up.